Neither. All right.
Hey, sir.
Yeah, how you
Can I
going?
have a word with you over here?
Yeah, sure. Just my sign.
Hi, mate. Hi.
G'day, how you
I'm
going?
Constable Berwick Clerk.
Yes, how are you going?
Police station. Yeah, I'm good. How are you?
Good. I'm
So,
good.
I understand that these gentlemen, their security. Do you understand that?
I understand the security.
Yeah, so they've given you just a simple request just to leave the sign over there. They do have bylaws here governing this area.
Yes.
You refuse to comply with them. You've also failed to stop to speak with the security guard there.
Okay.
Now, since then, they've asked you multiple times, and as I understand, because I have dealt with them in the past,
Right.
they've tried to be reasonable with you.
Okay. Tell me what the crime I've done,
I'm not
please.
going to tell you anything.
You're not?
So,
Well, okay, I've done nothing then.
okay, you're going to have to leave your...
No,
Okay?
you're going to have to tell me what
So
I'm
you
doing
caused
wrong,
fear and
or I'm
alarm.
not going
So I'm Constable
anywhere.
Berwick Clerk from Surrey's Police Station.
Yes.
Commission
You've
you
already
to move
told
on
me.
direction. You've become
No, there's no
argumentative.
move on direction
Listen,
going to happen
you've
here.
become argumentative with security.
And I'll become argumentative with you as well. But unless you can tell me,
My name's Sergeant.
unless you can tell me what I've done wrong.
You can't preach here. This is their bylaws.
Yeah, I don't,
On
listen,
premises.
this is Australia,
That's right.
right?
Yeah.
This, we have, the Constitution of Australia says I can preach religion anywhere in Australia, all right? That's all I'm doing. And I'm not even doing that. I'm just walking around looking at
Not
that.
the signage.
Why?
Because there's bylaws governing this
They got
place.
different.
I'm not interested in bylaws. I'm
They got
interested in
different
being
laws.
I am,
free.
and you're breaching them, okay?
Well, I'm not breaking any law.
You are. Bylaws.
It is
Yes.
not
No,
a
you are.
local
Yes.
law. It is not a
No, it is.
state
It is.
law.
Yes,
It is
bylaw.
not a national
Bylaw.
law.
This ground here is governed
Well,
by bylaws.
it might be.
Enforce those laws.
What are you going to do? You're going to arrest me?
I don't want to at this point. But
Well, you
we
can
might
if
go
you
down
like,
that route.
because on
I'm just
principle,
asking you to leave.
well, on principle, I'm not going to leave because I'm an Australian citizen
I'm now directing
and
you.
I can do it.
Don't be bullied.
I'm
Not bullying
directing
anyone.
you.
No,
We're not
well, you can do it.
You are.
So,
you all right. You
Failing,
No, no,
failing
no,
to
Very rude.
sir,
If
This
I
is doing our
can't,
job.
if I can't walk anywhere in Australia with this sign,
failing-
there is a problem.
failing
If you want to
comply,
take the authority, if you want to take the
you're
initiative
gonna listen
to arrest, no, I'm not, because
Well, failing
all
to
you've
comply
said
with
is
this
you're going to arrest me
you made
for
me
walking
walk.
on this land
Understand that?
with this sign. Is that what
So
you've
let's
said?
start walking.
Is that what you've said?
Sorry?
Is that what you've said?
You can't have the sign.
I can't have the sign
No.
Okay, so let's just start
because of
walking
some
away.
bylaw.
Come on, yeah.
What about what I want to do?
So let's
What
start
about
walking.
being free?
Well, you can
You are
do
free.
up
This
there.
is Australia.
You can do up
You're
there.
more than welcome
My name's
to do it.
James.
My name's Mike.
Mike, can you just walk with me and talk? Can we just
Of
talk?
course, I can do all
Well,
that,
what-
but
Can you not film me, please?
this is on. This
Oh,
is
no, I
on.
know you are, but I prefer
This is
you-
for our
You
protection.
are allowed
You
to.
know
You are
that?
allowed to.
Yes, of
All
course
the
we're
other
allowed
cameras
to.
on side.
Of
I
course.
just don't want her to get in my face. The camera. That's
All right.
I'm happy
Nothing
for
to
you
be
do what
afraid
you want
of.
to do, but you can't do it here.
Look.
Been pretty decent, okay? They do have bylaws.
This is
here.
a silly bylaw. What harm? Tell me what
It's not,
harm
it's
this
not just
does.
you. It's
I know,
it's
but what
everyone.
harm
It
does
just-
it do?
it's-
What harm am I doing? Am I doing anything
So,
really
You
wrong?
know what was initially the problem was? I
Yeah.
tried to talk to you. When you
No,
came
but
on, see, now you won't talk.
I won't listen
You-
because
why won't you listen?
you're going round in circles
No, no,
about me doing
because we
something
got-
wrong.
You wouldn't talk to me at stage one. You wouldn't talk to my colleague at stage one. It's not the sign as much as the issue.
And what's your
It's
name,
attitude,
sorry?
sir, James.
James, I asked you which bylaw it was, what was the exact regulation, and what did it
Nine
mean?
sugar.
Yeah, but tell me what it means. That means nothing to me.
Displaying signs on the side. Okay, like that.
What does it say, sorry?
Displaying signs on site. Promoting commercial.
I'm not.
Signs.
Yes, no commercial.
Promoting political views on site. So I wanted to stop and talk to you about this and
Yeah.
read it. You know what?
Yeah.
When you're moving around and you started arguing with me,
Yes.
that was the issue.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
And you
Well,
were saying,
what-
no, I'm going to keep walking. I'm not talking to you. You kept
Well-
arguing, saying, you arrest me if you want. You're being argumentative in public, in front of all these people, in front of me. Okay? That's the issue here, sir. Mike, that's the issue.
Why am I being argumentative? Because I'm standing on a
Because you
principle.
wouldn't stop and talk.
I am standing on a principle, and I continue to do it, and I will continue to do it, because I believe it's wrong what you guys are doing. If I was really
You're
causing,
allowed to-
no,
you're
actually,
allowed to-
listen,
you're
listen.
allowed to, Mike.
If I was
your
really causing a problem here, if I was stirring people up, or I was speaking to groups, or I was doing something like that, sure, I just walked on the side, and you said, "Oh no, you can't be here." I can't be here because I've got a sign in my hand. Are you kidding me?
No, I stopped you to talk to you because of the sign. And you
Yes.
became extremely argumentative and refused to
Because
allow
you
me to
couldn't
do
tell
my
me
job.
what I was doing wrong. You said it's just a
You
bylaw.
didn't want to listen to it at the start, sir. That's the difference in opinions.
Did I ask you?
Yeah, you did.
Did you tell me
I haven't
clearly?
told you.
Did you tell me clearly what the bylaw was? No.
And I even told you, you can Google online. You can go online and look at it. You're more than
No,
welcome to
you're
do
the
it.
one telling me to do it. I'm not just going to walk off because you say so. You've got to prove to me. You know, you don't have authority over me.
I don't need authority over you, but when I'm
Yes, you
working
do.
on this site, the authority here is the security manager.
Well, so what's the bylaw? I'll ask you again. Explain it to me.
Do you want me to look it up with you?
Yeah, look it up. You look it up with me, and let's look at it, and tell me if I'm doing something that's so wrong, and then I'll leave. How about that?
You gotta have a rule. You can't just say that.
I just think it's terrible that I can't walk on the site with this sign, right? There's plenty of people doing lots of wrong things, and you guys need to be busy looking after that, not bothering me.
Mom, people do trouble our country. You go after them.
Yep.
Can you read that?
No, I
Distribute
can't.
or display.
You read it for me. What's
Distribute
one
or
point at a
display
time?
by oral, visual, written, electronic, or other measures, an advertisement, sign, bill, poster, or other promotional
Can I
vehicle.
copy that?
Okay,
page?
so where do we qualify with that? We're not advertising.
You are, you're allowed
Can I copy
advertising
that
religion
page?
on site. No, you can look it
We're
up
not
online, man.
advertising religion.
It
How do you
says poster
advertise religion?
or a sign. It doesn't actually. It's just
You- So what if I had it on my T-shirt? Would I have to take that off?
No, it depends what was on your shirt.
Or not, mate.
Yeah,
Well, look, I'm
depends
going to
what's
get this printed up on a T-shirt. I'm going to come back on here. Is that okay?
Well, how about you do this? Why don't you
No,
do
no,
that?
is that
Come and say
okay?
good day and ask for me. And we'll stop and have a chat. And why not just do it you keep talking about constitution and
Yes,
decency
it's
and
called freedom.
okay. Why don't
Freedom.
you just stop rather than displaying the behaviour you did back then? Why don't you just stop and talk to me?
You know
You
why?
seem like a
I'll tell you
decent guy.
why. I'll tell you, I am a decent guy.
Yeah,
We're out on the street every single day except Sunday. We go to church.
yeah, okay.
We're out sharing Jesus. Over 14,000 people in 1 year have come forward, given their heart to Christ. That's what we're doing. We're not doing anything wrong. We don't go around causing any trouble with anybody. This is why I'm unreasonable, because when someone's
so you're saying
unreasonable,
you are unreasonable.
of course I'm unreasonable.
There you go.
No, but there you go.
You just
nothing.
said it on your camera in
Well,
front of
but
everyone.
so what? I'm not trying to hide anything. Of course I get unreasonable. I get intolerant of people who want to put silly rules on me for no reason. Of course I get upset about it. Wouldn't you? If I told you you couldn't wear that badge, and you say, oh yes I can, I
Depends where
keep
it
telling,
was.
well, it's a silly thing, but if I,
Depends on the rules.
yeah, rules. There's rules and there's rules, but there's the discretion that you can have. There's common
And you know,
sense
what
that
did I
we can
say
have.
to you? What did I say to you when we started walking?
You said I can leave my sign with
No, no,
somebody.
how
That's what the
about-
other bloke said.
Okay, and then you started arguing. Whereas even to the point where, like, if you're walking along and not displaying it and not upsetting anyone,
wasn't.
there's no issue. But do you see what we went back to? It was the arguing at the start.
The
That's where
arguing
you- that's where
was,
you became,
now wait a
that's where
minute,
you became
but the
problematic.
argument had validity because I said I'm not displaying it, I'm not talking to anybody, and you said you must leave. Now where's the fairness on your side with that? You already told me that was all right. I said, okay, I'm going to keep walking because
I
I'm
think
not
we
doing
met
it.
with a lot of fairness in the middle there.
You can try and get middle ground, that's a good idea.
That's what I'm doing here. Am I being decent here?
Yes,
We're having an all right chat.
that's
yeah?
all right, yeah.
We don't need to argue over stuff.
Okay, so what I'm not doing anything wrong by having this sign. You've just told me if I walk on here and I don't display it, or I don't go and talk to
You're
anybody.
arguing behaviour. We've already asked you to leave.
We're past that.
We're past that.
Yeah, you've asked me to leave and I've disagreed.
Why do you want to do like that?
Because on principle, I think I have a right to walk anywhere in Australia with this sign. We've been through all this before. We've been through it with the police many times. We've never been arrested because nobody
Because we don't
can
want to.
come up
Nobody
with
wants to.
anything that's an arrestable
wants to.
offence. You can talk about move on and all the rest of it, but that is not going to carry any weight.
Because we don't want to. I don't
Well,
want to get to that point.
It's
I'd
not going to
rather-
get to that point because
I'd
I'm just
rather
going to
walk in
stay
here
here.
talk
And if
you-
I have to get arrested,
We're not, no.
if
No,
I
I'm not
have
gonna
to
do
get
that.
arrested,
I'm
I
not gonna
will
do that.
on principle.
Pretty reasonable. You're doing a good job. Okay?
Of course I am.
Yeah. But they got bylaws that say you can't have any posters or any signs.
Yes.
You just go ditch the sign.
Can't have
Okay.
any sign.
You
Okay.
can't have any sign, mate. Okay. Obviously, we got a job to do. Okay.
I
You're doing a
understand.
great job. Okay.
Mhm.
But we have to also comply with their laws because we're here for them. We're working here.
So is this an arrestable offence?
This is probably not. Okay.
I already know it's not because
Okay.
we've been
Yes.
through this many
Yeah, I know.
times,
But
right?
you
I've
just
been
yeah.
I've been all down here on Circular Quay. Now there's a boundary here somewhere, isn't there, between
There is.
Circular Quay
Yeah,
and
there
this.
is, yeah.
Both are private property apparently. Them and
Okay.
us.
Yeah.
They have said they
I'm
have
glad you know
no.
that. See that there?
I
I'm
know
glad
it.
you looked
Oh,
at
yeah,
it.
I know,
That's
and you
good.
know why I'm here.
Oh,
But can I just finish? You know why I'm here?
Yeah.
and why I'm not going away and leaving, because we've already been through this down on Circular Quay with the security people, with the police.
Yeah.
We've been through the whole thing and they have said it is okay.
Circular Quay comes under different.
Yes, it might do, but it's private. This private property?
Yes, it is.
That's private
This
property.
is as well.
So you've got a different set of rules to
Yeah,
them.
they do. Yes.
How do you know that? Do you know the rules, or you're just telling
I
me
don't
that?
know all the rules. Of
No.
course not.
People
Okay.
just say things a lot of times.
Yes,
This is what I find out.
You have to just decide. Okay.
Mhm.
You
So,
do start to commit other offences if you don't comply with this direction.
all right.
Okay. But you're pretty reasonable. I know.
Yes,
Okay.
I want people to be reasonable with me.
Yes, I'm always reasonable. I've been reasonable with you.
You are, but
Okay.
I want people to be reasonable
Yeah.
with me.
I don't know what's happened with him, what communication we had with the security officers, but we've been called after you failed to comply with their direction.
Yes.
Okay? So, no one's carrying signs here. It's just not just you. It's to anyone that comes here with a
I
sign
know,
of-
I know, but I still think it's
regardless of the
wrong,
sign.
whether it's me or
That's your
anybody
opinion,
else.
mate. Yeah,
Of
that's
course,
your
it's my opinion. I'm allowed to have it.
Alright, so you can't have the sign here. You would have to ditch the sign.
Can you see the ridiculousness of it? If I had that printed on my T-shirt, which I'm going to do, and I walk on here, nobody's going to bother me. So it's just a silly thing. It's silly what we're talking about. It just goes round and round and
I know,
round.
but their point is you're attracting attention. So even though you're preaching the word of God,
Of course, I'm attracting
yeah,
attention.
so
I'm just walking. I want to come
Yeah.
up, have a look at the Opera House, and I was going to walk straight back out again. I was.
but this
Haven't
rule
seen.
doesn't just apply to you; it applies to everyone else as well.
I know,
All right, so
but they
it's no rule
came
after doing-
heavily on me for just walking on the site with this. All right, so that's
Sorry to do that, mate. Like, yeah,
My community, we pray for you. You know, my Christian, we pray for
Yeah,
you
yeah.
guys should.
yeah. No, I understand. You guys are doing great. Job.
all right.
Doing a good
We're
job.
Australian people here.
Yeah.
We pay our tax here.
No, I understand exactly.
All right.